How senseless to disregard one's life by fighting foes who are but frail flowers along the path of life. How foolish to spend our lifetime without meaning when a human body is so rare a gift. May the blessings of the Nyingma lineage, may the blessings of the ancient ways be upon the ones and one and many and all that find themselves to this path of enlightenment. Today, at this time and space, I wish to go over the fundamentals of Tibetan sciences and Kundalini in general, but it goes past that as well. Sacred sciences that Tibet held near, and Egypt as well has held dear to them. Alas, it was the lineages of Tibet though, Sakya, Gelugpa, Kagyu, Nyingma. I can go on, that's not needed though. The point being is that ancient lineages held ways of evolution within. Ancient ways had techniques and methods and meditational purposes and constructs to reach within and find our divine light and able to help others heal, to boost evolutionary phenomena, so to speak. I find the time we are in right now is so much needed to understand the core of these torsion field Tibetan secrets. When I say torsion field, I mean a self-gravitational, self-sustaining system, independent of anything else, anyone else. Such are the techniques I will go over today to help one on one's path. And all I ask is understand that all these should be used with compassion, love, and grace. It is never about fame or money, and neither should it ever be, or harm, lust, or greed, envy, gluttony. One should live a virtuous life. Alas, we are nearing an effort at a time when it's getting difficult. But as planned, I believe, we're reaching a time when it's needed for those true ones and anyone, anything that's finding their way to this heart resonance of clear mind, clear light, pristine consciousness. So, without further ado, let's dive in. Namaste. I am present awareness in front of anyone who has faith, practice, compassion, and I, being awareness, clear light, stainless mind, pristine consciousness. Just as the moon reflects on water, clear light, stainless light, reveals itself to the devout practitioner. May the darkest night be shown the brightest of light from the faintest candle. This candle being ourselves. All we're tapping into when one thinks of the word yoga, meditation, all one thinks of at first is stretchy exercises and just sitting down quietly, but this is not the case at all whatsoever. These yoga studios that we see, these meditation studios that we see, they mean well, love and light, but it's not accurate, to put it lightly. There's ways to dive on in at an evolutionary rate, to change our pristine consciousness from within, to bring that light source, so to speak, from within. For all whom are alive in any shape, way, and form is connected to this life force. Many have given it many names. Raksha mean Egyptians, breath of light, God, Christ, pineal gland, third eye, Brahman. It's all the same. It's our inner light. That's the key here. Inner light. Our inner, clear, conscious mind. Like how a moon reflects on the waves of the ocean. The steady part of the ocean, all part of the ocean still shows there. It's just like meditation, though. We clear the tides of our mind and our heart. We are able to see the light residency that has always been there. Even in the darkest of night, there is light from the moon. Ever so soon, it is always there. That's the point. Always. No matter what anyone has been through and going through and will go through. That is the point. Heart, light, resonance of clear light mind. Coming from the navel, the heart, the throat, and the pineal gland. I mentioned these ones explicitly, and I will explain why. Because yes, there are 7 chakras and more, but the main ones that we're concerned with overall are these 4 and 5. And I will explain ever so why. And I'll explain in detail the secrets of Trekcho, Thodgal, and Tummo. These 3 in respect. I believe these 3 actually have the quickest, easiest, most profound phenomena and ways to clear and reach our clear light mind. Our stainless, pristine soul, so to speak. What is a soul? Our auric energy resonance that is connected to the cosmos all times, but it's still you. That is the true you, not the body that you possess. That's like a conch shell that you're wearing. But where were you before that? You chose to be here at this exact time, location, space. You chose your parents. You chose the predicament. You're here for a great purpose, no matter what one may think. Don't forget that. Please. Awesome. I appreciate that. We all do. So, like I said before, get a little bit deeper into Trekcho, which means translation, cutting of the ego, or thoroughly cutting. Translates as well to cutting through to one's awareness, cutting that ego. Trekcho, short practice. It's about evolution. It's about reaching to our self-sustaining light. Many will call this enlightenment, but right now at this time, I understand it's hard to be completely happy with understanding what's going on currently. That's why I'm here, we're here, to make this a better place. To make everything a better place. As much as we can for our family, our loved ones, and our generations to come. So that's why we're here. One may call this enlightenment, but what is it really than helping others with compassion? Yes, enlightenment is finding happiness in any circumstance. Any. Because one may seek refuge in their mind, soul, and the pavilion of their inner lights, whenever one may wish. When one's going through suffering or trauma, clear everything. And one will find everything can just go turn off, turn away, and you'll see the clear light inner mind here. You'll see and you feel it. That's what they call great divine bliss, or the abyss. Tibetans will refer to it as to help Westerners understand this great orgasmic bliss. But it's so much more than that. It's not sexual at all. There is this misunderstanding. It's a slight misunderstanding. For the whole point of this is to go deeper than food or sex is needed. That warm spot that fills our pleasure in our stomach, it's here. It's the light within us. Some would say God, some would say Christ, some should say Rakshamin in Egyptian. Doesn't matter. It's us. But the divine creator, divine source, the divine stainless light, when evolution takes place, they always leave doors, so to speak, in our bodies. Temples. If you can find these certain pavilions and pathways and doors, one may unlock one's inner secrets of treasury as long as it's in love and compassion. And profound results can come only if it's done with love, every stitch. So, A huge part of diving into this is cutting off our ego, so to speak. You know, monks and Egyptians will go months and months and years and cut off everything. Friends, family members, materials, give up everything. But there's a reason for this though, and it's metaphorical as well, but also literal. It's both. The reason being for this is because it's a metaphor, a literal truth that to find oneself and to find that inner God, one must be able to do it like life or death. If one's not doing it with enough effort, they don't want it enough at first. And if they do want it enough, they'll find it. But as it is said, he who finds the truth will be troubled, and he who is troubled will be awakened. But when I say this type of trouble, it's not the type I want to think of. It's the type of, it takes a lot of work. That's why I'm making this as simple as possible. So Trekcho means cutting through ego. This has to do a lot with brain science here, and what's used here is understanding brain chemistry and what invokes certain chemicals, such as when we go to sleep, melatonin is raised, and dimethyltryptamine or DMT in the brain, in the lungs, in the heart, in the brain, mainly the lungs, mainly the brain though, the person, other parts of the human body though. Why I mention this, these chemicals though, is because it's not just poetry here though, there is an actual brain science here with the epigastric region, the stomach, the navel region, with the cerebellum, with the hippocampus, with the medulla, the amygdala, the 12 cranial sutures, the 12 cranial nerves, better put to words. The suture has a huge part of it in the top. The vertebrae, the spinal columns, going all the way up, has 32. All of this respectively is part of the sacred science, the spinal fluid, getting it moved from the base all the way from the root to the top of the head. What they would refer to as Kundalini. Indeed, there is a sacred fluid here like a lamp, they have called it. In past schools and Egyptians, they would use the analogy of lamp oil. To revitalize our sacred part of the brain, one must need oil, so to speak. That's what they call it. Fascinating, actually. Really, it's not referring to literal oil. It's referring to this sacred brain science, the epigastric region, everything in our body. It is so rare and beautiful gift. But with everything going on, sometimes it's hard for us to access all this, especially in our current society. That's all. It's part of the plan, and part of the plan is to help us all. Using yoga, meditation, true yoga, and Tantra. Tantra meaning continuum into one source. Tantra meaning to unionize one source. A union, yoke, to unionize body, spirit, and mind. In a pavilion of bliss and knowledge, connected to the cosmos. That's the goal here. And one who can connect to the cosmos has no limits, physically, spiritually, metaphorically, and symbolically, and literally. But that's the point though. But it must be done with love and compassion. That's the only way it can happen. To the fullest, at least. So on to Trekcho more. One of the key exercises they'll use to cut the ego. Notice if one is in a dark room. They'll use dark room therapy a lot. A practitioner will put themselves in a pitch black room, or one may use a blindfold and noise canceling headphones. You know, you can use earplugs, noise canceling headphones. One may put a blindfold on, just turn off the light in your room, pitch black. Make 30 minutes here and there. You can make it. Once needed, it'll do it. For our future generations and enlightenment's sake. That's why. It's not just stretching, it's not just breathing, it's understanding why we're doing this. And that's why I think today I can help illustrate how to properly do this without misintentions. So, or mistranslation as well. So a practitioner will put themselves in a dark room for a week, at times 2 weeks, 3 weeks. Chogyam Trungpa, the Samilang monastery, did this for 40 days and 40 nights to combine his mind with the cosmos, and to combine dream state and waking state, so he control his field of vision to anything he wanted. That's the point here. But we can do this at 30 minutes, an hour at a time. But notice, here's the brain chemistry involved. When one puts himself in the dark room, absence of light, it tricks the brain to think he's asleep. Quite fascinating. It releases melatonin. It releases and shows on brain reports. It shows melatonin's arised. Dimethyltryptamine, DMT, has arised. It releases and shows and reduces anything negative. It releases all these positive attributes. And if one's scared, one must realize it's their own inner mind. One can say a prayer or a chant or whatever they wish on that part. I'm not going into syllables today or tones. It is good to mention, though, what is a tone, one may say. What is a tone? People have asked that. What is a mantra? Let's refer to a mantra is an adamantine mantra. It is the pristine mantra. A syllable means mind protector. A mantra is a series of words or sounds or syllables that protect one individual from negative influence, basically. These come in many shapes, forms, and forms. Chants, prayers, spells. I understand all cultures, they have their form mantras. Yeah. So it's a culture thing, and I respect that. We must all respect that. We must also understand that these are different labels one time. The same thing. Amazing. A grand puzzle that must be connected. So mantra can be said like a prayer if one's scared to protect oneself. Always. There's nothing wrong with that. Always. As well, one may do a mudra if they wish. A mudra is usually a hand symbol to help protect or help invite the elements, air, fire, earth, space, water. Each here is the concept. But really, it can just bring inner peace, inner mind, honestly. That to me is not need. But you know what? If it helps arise consciousness, awesome. But so again, I digress. So it's good to know that when these start happening, any fear in the dark or pitch black, even for 30 minutes or an hour at a time, it's our own anxieties and what we're going through. Listen to it. Listen to what's arising. Where's the thought coming from? In pitch black. Settle your mind first. Just breathe in, deep inhale. Deep exhale through your mouth first for now. And through your nose out through for now. For now, these. Because we're not going to base breathing or any type of complicated breathing yet. Right now, you're just trying to center yourself. What shows up in the dark shows up like in a reflection of your mind. Okay? Or on the blue sky, it's a reflection of your mind. It's an inner pavilion of the mirror of your consciousness, looking out within. So they say. All really we're doing here is like a mirror. We're taking up and looking ourselves in, looking out the window, seeing ourselves back in. Taking true introspective, true retrospective, outer, inner level. So Trekcho, one may put on a blindfold, noise canceling headphones, and or turn off the light somewhere. Pitch black though. Has to be complete blackness. And center yourself, sit in a regular chair. Do this for a while. 30 minutes at least, like I said. What comes to mind? This is cutting of the ego. Because like dream state, we're helping invigorate dream state. At dream state, we're able to get in touch more with the inner self. If it helps, one may keep themselves close to the switch and or have someone in the house on call to make them feel better. Anything like that is understandable. But it's not just meditation here. The more we dig into our true self, the more we can pull out. The more we dive in, the more we can pull out of this great tide of pristine consciousness. So if one were to, in theory, wake up in dream state, complete lucid dreaming, they can access their inner Akashic records, outer Akashic records. They can see any ancestors they want, any past life they want, and see their true potential, evolution, and what they can do to help others. That's why. See what you're truly meant for. Use it. As Buddha said, experiment. But it goes past Buddha though. There's been many great masters out there. But I digress. So Trekcho would be cutting of the ego, brain sciences, like I said. It sends melatonin, dimethyltryptamine to the brain and pineal gland. This aids in opening the pineal gland. It helps uncrystallize it. Like I said, they say there are no syllables here. No syllables meaning it's not needed to say something. But that helps a lot because words, mantra, they can have power though. But right now we just want to analyze what's showing up. What is it? Where is the thought coming from? That's your human top level consciousness. What's in the subconscious and the inner layer? Peel back those layers like an onion peel. But I promise you, the smell's a lot more pleasant though. Because your clear light self is so full of light. So wondrous. It's there. It's always there. No one's tainted. No one's ever tainted. That's a misconception. What can be tainted is your karma. But one's karma can be erased completely. This is important and key. They find their own inner light. Or they can do it the long way and die and reincarnate, die and reincarnate, die and reincarnate over and over and over again. An endless cycle. In 10 lifetimes you get it fixed later. Yeah, that's why. That's what's going on here. And it's key to get us out of that. Because the situations and people and things out there and places and negative influences around everyone and everything that can have an impact on this. Yeah. On to the next one, Thodgal or Thodgal. This is a concept of profound visionary experience similar to Trekcho, but using another tactic though. But they like to be said, and one should use it at day and one should use it at night. One could be done at day, one could be done at night, or honestly, either one. But I say both, and all three that I'm mentioning in some ways. So Thodgal or Thodgal means quantum leap. Yeah. This brings the concept of noticing our present, always present, luminous stainless spectacle nature, or stainless path. It's amazing. It's always there. It brings a visionary, profound experience, aiding in our ascension in Kundalini. This is important to note. This is not visualization. You're putting a fake picture in your head. You want to purposely always, even in Trekcho and Thodgal, always, you want to leave your mind blank. You don't want to put a picture there. Some culture will say, look at this picture, put red, put this syllable, look at this, or see this deity. No, none of that. We're not finding any deity other than our true self connected to the cosmos and the divine creator. Okay, that's it. That's it. We're literally tapping into our innermost self that's connected to Rakshami, Ra, God, Christ, Yor. That's the point. We can. Masters have said we all can. I believe there's a great master, Jesus Christ, that has said that as well too, that we all can do it. I believe that many masters have said this as well in their own words. Indeed. This Thodgal and Thodgal is usually done while sitting in a Vajrayana, lotus, Indian style position, or one can sit in a chair, but this is usually not done because it's usually done in a field and or, but you can do it in a truck, you can do it in your backyard. See, we can change it up now in Western style. See? Yeah, that's good though. We don't want to be too stuck in tradition now. That can get stagnant too. It's all about evolution, but keeping lineages and respect, ancient teachings and respect. One doesn't need a wand. One doesn't need tarot cards. We are the tarot card. We are the wand. Okay? Everything comes from within. One spells and crystals won't work as well if you have a stained karma, if you have too much negativity on your consciousness. One can be a great worker at Reiki. One can be great at Qigong and Tai Chi, but the energies, they need to clean them out like an engine, like a car engine. No matter what, you need to have clean fuel in there, right? It's going to run horrible, even if you have a great diesel, even have a great vehicle, even if you have a Ferrari or whatever, okay? Doesn't matter, Lamborghini, doesn't matter. It needs to have everything cleaned out though, right? Yeah, that's it. So we've forgotten that on an evolutionary scale. That's what's going on in yoga or meditation. Checking everything. Is everything okay? Everything fine? We're looking within and seeing it from without. Using these visionary experiences of complete blackness. Yeah. So if, for example, one were to concentrate in their heart enough and pitch black, they would see if there's any or this is an example, a visionary experience would arise before the practitioner. There's something wrong with my body. I must heal this. I must heal that. Something wrong with my friend here. Something wrong with my friend here, my sister. Meditate on that. Say a prayer if you want. It helps. Trust me, you can. I get that. Cool. The point being is, honestly, once you've connected, truly connected, there's this lock-on development that happens. And we don't have to do it as much. But it's always good. Remember that. See it indeed. So this is observable energy, observable emptiness, as they would call it. It's energy. It's even in physics, there's energy all around us, vibrating, constantly moving. In physics, Einstein has called it entanglement theory. Many doctors, scientists, and neurophysicists have researched this. Quantum entanglement theory, string theory. It's amazing. Wherever light follows in time and space is bent, there's consciousness there. Even this pen right here, and this whatever, what's behind it has matter in it that can be condensed into electricity and back again into the world. Yeah, to help others. That's the point. It should be the point. A lot of species has forgotten that though. That won't happen as much though. I know there's some darkness here and there, and there's going to be. And as a species, I'm sorry, but there's ways always to combat that. By joining with our inner light. Yes, that's it. So, for example, one may look at the blue clear sky, the blue clear portion of a sky without clouds, and look on. It'd be good to note that one may block the right nasal, breathe in to the left, the lalana, breathe in, the right, rasana. We can change that. Do that interchangeably, or this will rebalance our lung pathways, our breathing pathways. This will rebalance everything. This will rebalance our inner chakras and our inner channels, the left and right side, Lalana, Rasana, and the great central channel, Avaduti Shashumna. So one will keep their eyes open, just like in Trekcho. However, we want to sit in a comfortable sitting and look at the blue clear sky. One will notice floaters after a while, lights zipping everywhere. Can resemble a peacock feather, can resemble a light ball, spheres of light everywhere. One will see floaters. Okay, out of note. This is our own natural experience. So yes, there is science involved here as well. That's the point, combining science with our sacred innermost self. These floaters as well, though, can be called lamps. In Tibetan, Thodgal, they're referred to as lamps, though, into our innermost, deepest ways, because these can be metamorphosized or show our true nature. It has been shown that practitioners and devout monks, after looking at blue skies for a long period of time, these floaters will change into a complete visionary experience, showing luminous, profound paths. So one would lock themselves in a field of vision. You can blink, look at the blue sky 30 minutes at a time. You'll see the visions increase, profound visionary experience. But see, again, it's important to note these aren't visualizations. These are spontaneous, luminous presences of awareness, observable energy, observable emptiness, prajna paramita, as the Tibetans would call it, prajna paramita. Empty bliss, observable emptiness. Energies everywhere, but we're just retraining our eyes at an optic level, okay? On the optic nerve level to see what's truly there. Because we hallucinate our own reality as a combined species. To put a picture, see indeed. We're only seeing about 20% of what's really in front of us at all times. Even the greatest physicist. Great physicist Donald Hoffman, Oliver Sacks, for example, name a few, Timothy Leary, Alan Watts, all of these would agree and done important research on this. Some more evangelical and more scientific, and some very evangelical, honestly. But it doesn't matter, but they all have important back studies and backgrounds in this. And some very posted in science. Even Einstein realized there's a unified field theory. Everything's combined. Gravity, electricity, it's connected. So in Thodgal, we're using the blue sky as a visionary experience. Blue sky. So Trekcho, pitch blackness. Thodgal, blue sky. Now to the catalyst, so to speak. The catalyst, I would say. And I say that word catalyst, it's almost like starting a flame or a light in the base or stomach. This will help so much, aid these visionary experiences. So this should be done in pitch black or the blue sky. When you're in the car or something, look at the blue sky. When you can do Tummo, combine it. Profound visionary experiences with the inner work. So there's two pathways here, really. There's been monk schools devoted to only using the outside visionary experiences, but no Tummo. And there's been ones that never use visionary experiences, never, but unlock their evolutionary path through this way. So it's fair to say it's literally like unlocking our doorways within to pristine consciousness and awareness. Awareness of awareness itself. Where is it coming from? We're timeless. We're past time and space. So we're digging into that. As we see light and space on a three-dimensional plane, it's past that. 4D, 5D, 6D, 7D, 8D, 9D, 11. You get the picture. It's always 11 or so. Let's see, then even that again, no. All is observable emptiness. All can be transferred somehow. So Tummo, inner heat, translation, inner heat. Interesting fact as well, can translate to formidable or strong female energy. They say, Tibetans love to say, and this is true, also true. Female energy is the closest to creation energy we can find. We're all in touch with it, whether you know it or not, because it goes past male and female. But I digress. It goes into creation, our own inner evolution. Like how all creation stems from the womb, the navel chakra. That's why even in males, the navel chakra is so important, whether one's female or not. It goes back to that. So, in Tummo, I will give a little bit more precise instructions of the breathing. One, we'll exhale whole breath out first. You want to exhale out all the stale breath. We don't breathe properly a lot, and it's okay. It's understandable. Not that it's okay as in it's good for our health, but our body's strong, so it's adapt. Amazing. It will adapt always to any situation. Even if we're uncomfortable, it will adapt. So we want to exhale all air first. Straighten the back. Make sure you're sitting back properly. Anyway, it can be in a chair, Varokana, lotus, Indian position. Just make sure you're comfortable. Your spine's straight. Exhale all breath. So your lungs are empty. Breathe in right nostril 3 times. Exhale out the left 3 times. And vice versa. Breathe in and out. Every time you do this, breathe in positivity. Breathe out negativity. All your stresses. I want to do this. The purpose of this is balancing the channels, the Pingala, Ida, Avaduti, Sushumna. Sacred channels. Then we can breathe out. Focus on the innermost, where the thoughts coming from, clear that out. One may use a nasal strip or vapor rub like Vicks to help clear out nasal passages too. These are creative ways, like I said. A nasal strip can work, vapor rub, Vicks, some type of mist in the air that helps you breathe more. Trust me, this works. You know, they're not talked about a lot. And they're simple, no one would think of. You know, blindfold, noise canceling headphones, no excuses, we can do it. Get inside, get in there. Just find a way in your inner temple. Break out of the cycle, you know? We can do it. I know we can, as one. So, as I was saying, and I digress. So now I can get into more of it after we've done that and cleared out the stale breath. And okay, now we can This is important. Put your hands like this, put them against your thighs, like you're pushing down. This moment is key. So, for example, you want to breathe in all the way until your lungs are filled through your nose. Then you want to swallow in your Vishuddha, your throat. This will cause this chakra to push all the sacred energy down to the Manipura, the sacred base, the sacred inner fire. Feel it going down. No visualization needed, just feel it. And when you breathe in, do as I do in the next 5 seconds. You want to breathe in all the way and hold your breath after you swallow. Push down your arms onto your thighs. Straighten out your back. Swallow. Clench your perineum or cervix or sphincter and or your upper thighs. This reason very lightly. Clench those very lightly like you're working out. Reason you want to clench your throat and down there in the lower abdominal region. Not the base. The base must be pure. The reason we do this is to make sure the winds create this type of reaction. Go down. When you block this, it goes back up and circles around in the Manipura, the sacred navel area, the 64 petals of the epigastric region. This ignites a fire, like a spark, like really, literally. But we don't have to envision anything else other than fire and light in there. So we swallow, clench the perineum or cervix or sphincter area, male or female, slightly but still the same. And then we can feel everything in the stomach. Hold your breath for about 30 seconds or as long as it's comfortable. Use your hands, push down your thighs. Straighten up your back. Listen to the sound of your heartbeat. Anyone can count with their heartbeat for 30 heartbeats. Giving key examples here. So this is a true exercise of yoga, making the air go down to the base area, keeping it there. One will do this for 30 seconds at a time. Hold, swallow, clench. Hold it for 30 seconds, 40 if you can, even a minute if you can for some. If some only 10 seconds, great. This, honestly. And after that, breathe out for whatever seconds we can. 10, 30, minute, 2. I'm doing it for demonstration purposes here and to condense it in the right type of format material for the video necessary. If anyone wants to go over details, one may call me, text me, email us anytime. But however, I digress though. I'm not the point here, am I? You are the point. I'm just a part of you looking in. That's it. That's it. We have forgotten. I'm part of you, you're part of me. I see you, you see me. I love you, you love me. Even hate turns to love, always. Like the turning of ice, gaseous fields into solid matter, back and forth. Matter's always changing, but it's always the same, is it not? But we're in these conscious earth brains, we forget sometimes. We can dig in. Yeah. So on to the next part though. Now, after we've got that down, base breathing, on to the Tantra belly dancing side. Now, why did I say it like that? Because it resembles belly dancing, a Persian belly dancing movement. Honestly, straight up with the next step. The stomach churning, or Tibetans would call it. They don't call it that. I'm helping Westerners and Easterners, and Northerners and Southerners alike understand. It resembles belly dancing. But it's not. Because you're just sitting. It has to do with churning the heat. The wheel in the stomach, turning of the wheel. Tibetans also refer to turning of the heart when going up, turning. They just refer to like turning of a wheel. Like an 8-peg wheel on a ship. It's turning that wheel. This helps like a lighter stir up that sacred epigastric region, and the ganglia in the sacred region of the stomach brain here. We'll send up nerves firing up the vertebrae, up the spinal columns, all the way up, okay, to the nape, okay, past the campus, medulla, everything, all the way to the center. Awaken all 12 cranial nerves, the suture, everything, as they call it, the petals. It's important to know all the petals they refer to are parasympathetic nerves in the nervous system, though. This is important to note. For example, in Tibet, the crown has 32 petals. Third eye has 2 petals. The Vishuddha, 16 petals, for example. Heart, 8 petals. Sacred navel, 64 petals. Svadhisthana, or the area down there, the root, 32 petals, I said in Sanskrit, sorry. The Muladhara root, 8 petals. Okay, going all the way down, okay? That would be all, but the point being is here, we are just using what's necessary. And it's important to note all these petals and leaves are parasympathetic nerves of the nerve system. So this was done at a time back then where they didn't understand the scientific terms, but they were able to see their own body inside out, and they saw what resembled tree branches and tree leaves going everywhere. That's what I said about spontaneous flight. They called it leaves and petals, but really it's our own nervous system firing out everywhere because it's been dormant for a long time. This releases profound results. So after we breathe in, breathe out, swallow, clench. All right. Hold. Now, it's good to understand it as you want to stick your gut out as much as possible. After you swallow, clench, all the air go out here. Doesn't matter. You want to move your stomach up, down, up, all the way down, up, all the way up, down. Now, this is using your abdominal muscles a little bit, so it will take a little bit of work. You can move it right, left, right, left, right, left. It might help to picture, not visualize. Remember, it's an idea of like hands on a clock in your stomach, or like pegs on a wheel, or directions. Feel the stomach muscles going right. You want to keep your spine straight. Small example. Point being is turning of the stomach while after, and remember, this should be combined with a black room. This should be combined with a blue sky. Remember, I'm just doing it for demonstration purposes here. Indeed. So remember, say in a dark room, you want to do this, keeping your back straight. Feel like you're stretching out your back. Look up at the blue sky in a field, back of a truck, chair in your backyard. In silence, put on some beautiful music, some Bach, whatever. Mozart, it's always nice. Once time in Paris, any opera piece is good. But honestly, any peaceful music's good, any chanting, any prayer. But I recommend peaceful music at most, maybe drums, that helps one, or honestly, complete silence is best. So remember, breathe in, look at the blue sky, or pitch blackness. Either way, feel as if you're looking into yourself. These are used to see our clear stainless light selves, our pristine consciousness. Indeed. As I said, this fires up the epigastric region, the sacred light from down there, going up the sacred base, up the sacred heart, into the cranium, awakening the 12 disciples in here, 12 cranial nerves. The disciples were real, by the way. However, all this is a beautiful metaphor. But as well, they are disciples within that help us. Are they not? Yeah, it's all connected.
It's good to do this on an empty stomach, by the way. And if you do, okay, good. Didn't eat lightly before, here and there. Never want to have a very, very stuffed tummy before. Don't want to have overstuffed tummy. At least not at the time. As I said, this must be done in pitch black or clear blue, light sky, or both. As I said, this resembles a belly dance, so to speak. So one breathes in, push down, back straight, clench perineum and cervix. Focus on that clear stainless light. Breathe normally for a bit. If it helps, this is separate. One may hyperventilate to bring in a slight shock to the brain. One may, it's not needed, but one may, for example. Same swallow, down, nothing but clear light, positivity. Turn that stomach. Focus on the clear light that comes out in pitch blackness or blue sky luminance. Luminous blue sky. It resides up there naturally. It resides in here naturally. Just got to connect with it. You see it every day. And a lot of times, it's said, at these moments throughout the day, we get a hint of our clear nature. We feel God here and there, the universe. We get a hint of it here and there. But just as quickly as we get it, it seems to fade away for a second. This is inviting it all the more. All the more. So we do these breathing exercises while looking at the black sky. It can be done in the black sky as well, at night. Don't misunderstand, you can. But for these exercises, and either way, sky helps promote this feeling of awareness when you look at it. That's the point here. If you want to be traditional, and the best is blue sky without clouds, but even awareness can be seen in a black sky. Black night, pitch black. One can look towards the tip of their nose as well. This is another way. In broad daylight, look at the tip of your nose. One will go cross-eyed. Swallow, clench, churn that stomach on looking at the tip of your nose. This as well can bring out that luminous resonance. As I said, you can do whatever mudra is needed. Any is needed, it helps. Keep that back straight. Move those shoulders around. This helps invite the Kundalini process all the more. This will really pull out our sacred energy channels and anything dormant, and this has to be done over time. It will take, like working out, like a weightlifter. It will not happen in the first, second, third session. Only now, one may have a divine meeting with awareness the first time. This is possible. Very possible. But one must keep it up, though. One must keep it up. All this won't work unless you have true protection in name and compassion. Think of your intentions. Yes, to heal. For what? Brothers or sisters, our children, our generations to come. Our DNA. To help us. Because we help ourselves, we help others. We help ourselves. Helping others, we help others. We're helping ourselves in the process. The main chakras we are using here are the Muladhara root chakra to block the energy from going down. 4 petals. Manipura, stomach, sacred epigastric region, stores large amount of chi, 64 petals. Anahata, heart sacred light is stored here, 8 petals. Vishuddha, throat, blocks energy when pushing down from swallowing. It also transfers sacred vibration, syllables. One wants, that's why prayer and singing helps. Our vibrations here have a sacred tone to it, whether we like our voice or not. Doesn't matter if you like your voice or not. It still has that sacred resonance, though. I promise you. So one can say Om Rami. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Okay? None of that. It doesn't. It can be whatever. But there is sacred tones, though, in Sanskrit that help invigorate certain energy channels. This is true. But you know what? The best one of all? Yourself and your self-awareness. If one wants more details than that, one may email me or message us. Message me. But I digress. I'm not important, like I said. Ajna, third eye, seat of soul, destination of our sacred light. 2 petals. Top of crown is nice too, but that's just a suture. These main chakras are energy knots. By untying these energy knots, like stagnant water that has stopped flowing in a river that is blocked, become full of moss and all types of various fungi, it can be unblocked when you remove the blocks, the rocks. It can't always flow. Water is always a source of power. This water I'm referring to in this case, though, is our own sacred light in nature, connected to the cosmos, connected to our third eye, pineal gland, heart, epigastric region. Real quick, I would like to go through a thorough commentary of the chakras, energy wheels. There are, like I said, only a few along the spinal cord. They're along the spinal cord, to be more precise, right around it. That's where the chakras are. Ajna, 2.5 inches deep from the bindu right around here. But it's actually interesting. It's interesting though, because Ajna, the third eye, it's a loose translation of the sacred center parts of your brain. It's not just the pineal gland. It's the Brahma Gopha right here, around the thalamus. It forms a whorl around the hypothalamus and the choroid ventricle. Right here, goes further back. Okay, this is all part of the third eye component, actually. A Brahma Gopha, the hollow space from the thalamus, hypothalamus, and the choroid ventricle. Going further back, the pineal gland, okay? And a little further back is the Digle, Tankwe, Jonma. This utilizes the full channel, the Ajna energy channel. 2 petals, like I said, but really it's referring to, like I said, the hemispheres, actually, in this case. 2 hemispheres, no. 2 petals. That's what I mean. It's a good example of how the petals can be translated into something else. The top of the crown is important because at birth it's soft here. Tales say, now this can be taken metaphorically or literal, when one is truly in depth with the pavilion of wisdom, one is truly in depth with the wisdom of their own clear light. Oh, it shines like a saint around their crown. It shines out and you can see the light around them. Oh, what beautiful poetry is this? We have seen this in the Virgen de Guadalupe. We have seen this one, Virgin Mary, saints, Buddha. Hey, it's all connected, isn't it? It's fascinating. There's a sacred science in here, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters. There's a sacred science here involved that we as species have been altered, misguided, misunderstood, forced to change, evolution, etc. But we can break out of it. Seize control of our destiny to help others. So, I digress though. Lower than that is the Vishuddha, nape of the neck, to be more precise actually. Right here, right below the suture, right below the cranial suture, there's a drop, and a drop right here, right behind the ears, between. Just notice that little soft spot right under the hard part, right under the cap, the skull. There's a little soft spot that goes down. This is the location. Actually, the Vishuddha, 16 petals, the occipital nerves, lower part of the cranium, occipital nerves and the suboccipital nerves right here. One can relax themselves right here just by rubbing it actually and pushing it gently. This can actually help rebalance everything in the body too and heal actually too. Right under the groove of the top portion of the skull. Near the sutures, yeah. Anahata, memory bank of past lives and karma. Pristine seat of the soul, connects to eyes, Manipura, navel, closer to the spine. All nadis and channel extend from here. There's, like I said, important gray matter here, the epigastric region. Now, to comment on the heart, by the way, is very understated in chakras. The heart is more than just a physical being. The heart is more than the part where everything just starts beating. It's more than that. It houses sacred light, the sacred luminous light. They say it's the size of a mustard seed, but it's located in the epigastric region and the heart, actually, in the pineal gland. So they would say there's 3 planes we have to unite. In the pineal gland, the heart, and the epigastric region. So that's what they would say. So onto the Svadhisthana, sacral tailbone, the coccyx region, actual location of the sacred tailbone, the coccyx bone. Muladhara, between the genitals and the rectum, there is a space called the perineum, above the coccygeal bone, 4 petals. This would help understand the lower extremities, middle extremities, and higher extremities. This helps us understand as why they're called chakras, because they're energy channels along the spinal cord that help reactivate the 32 vertebrae or so above there. And going up to the 33rd. Organs associated with elements and seats. The spleen is associated with the earth domain. Touch, feel, sense. Left arm, yellow light. Kidneys, water domain. Ears, hearing, sense. Left leg, blue light. Liver, fire domain. Tongue, taste, sense. Right arm, red light. Lungs, wind domain. Nose, smell, sense. Right leg, green light. Heart, space domain. Eyes, sight, sense. Head, white light. Associated with the colors of the rainbow. Speaking of rainbow, a lot of times in darkness or pitch black or the blue sky, after an hour or 2 or 3, all your vision will see is a rainbow. You can induce a visionary experience seeing a rainbow after 2 hours of dedication. And then breathe in, swallow, hold, clench down here in the lower extremities, turn the stomach. Do this for about 30 minutes, on and off. Let your eyes just float into there and lock on there. Now, when I say float, they might go cross-eyed here and there, if you notice. Once after 30 minutes to 45. Now, this can be done 2 different ways, honestly. You can keep them straight. Don't allow them to get locked cross-eyed. Or when they are cross-eyed, you can allow it slightly. It's not needed, though. But it can be. Either way, lock onto there. You don't want to move your head around too much. That's the point, though. Keep your head around there. You'll see this visionary experience after the breathing methods applied. Again, in the name of Dharma and helping and compassion for others, we wish to unlock these evolutionary paths. We wish to understand what the Egyptians and Tibetans, Native Americans, they had their own way of channeling and all these, and I give respect to any energy worker. All of this, the heart of it is our own bodies. The heart of it is our own soul. The heart of energy works, the own soul and our chakras, because no energy work will work, honestly, without our soul being unlocked. So they say, if you can't unlock your soul by the time of birth, or meet it face to face, because you have to come face with your own awareness. You have to come face to face with your own awareness, your own soul, and meet it, combine it, unionize it, so to speak, so you're walking in spirit and earth as one. They say if you cannot do this, by the time of birth, you just reincarnate again and or go to a lower realm or a hell realm. Now, of course, based on good karma, this can help you a little bit, but the best karma is recognizing your own awareness. That will cleanse everything. It's important to note that the 6 yogas, Taropa, Naropa, Naguma, Milarepa, inner heat, illusory body, clear light, dreams, transfers of consciousness, forceful projection. These are great methods to imply that on a further level. These are more understandable, realistic methods, because today it's lost in translation of forceful projection and lost in translation of clear light. These are better ways to grasp that clear light, these 3 ways. Trekcho, Thodgal, and Tummo. And then from this, it will make more sense. As well, what can be implied as dream yoga, but dream yoga is a part of it. As you're falling asleep, recognize your thoughts. Catch it. Falling asleep. Even in bed, catch it. What is appearing up? You'll notice when you're falling asleep, you clench your eyes and keep them barely open. See, like this. You can barely see anything, but you see the slivers of light. To do this as you're falling asleep. This induces more visionary connection as well. Same thing as well. This can be done during meditation as well. You can squint your eyes. Squint. Yes. So, to end it, all of these channels form the trunk. The elemental channels are the branches. These split into 360 limbs, and those split into 21,000 subsidiary limbs, and those split into 84,000 leaves. Like I said, these are parasympathetic nerves, the nervous system. So, in conclusion, true yoga and meditation is digging within introspection, using divine sciences to unlock profound results of so much. Tummo, on the lightest level, doing all this can release inner heat, inner bliss, inner light. You can go longer without eating. You can, for example, induce healing. And this is putting it lightly on an understandable level. The more one does this, the more one will see and feel. The more one can do to help others on a profound level. I give the blessings of my lineage, the Ning Mapa, to any individual that understands this and takes it for themselves and applies it for what's coming for themselves and what has been, to clear our generational karmic lines. Never give up, always strong. If anyone has any questions, if anyone needs to reach me, email me, text me, call anytime. I'm always available. You. So much love and light. Om.